MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And good morning from Scotty Ray and Candace. It is Tuesday, our last Tuesday of 21.
Yes.
I guess we could say that about tomorrow also, but...
Yes. Do you have any New Year's resolutions?
I'm hoping to keep that little chair really comfortable downstairs.
Yeah.
I'm not one to go out on New Year's Eve. It's just it's too much partying goes on. I don't know whether it's an omen, whatever. I just never go out on that night.
Yeah, I pretty much like to be at home too. We have gone and shot fireworks at somebody's house or something, but I really like to be home. You know, laying in my own bed and listening to the fireworks go off.
So much goes on that night. I just feel safe. Now, not that they can't have them at your house, but
I know. But I think I like to do fireworks at home and shoot them over the pond, do them early, get them over with.
Be in bed by 9:30.
Yeah, be in bed. Of course, it'll sound like a war going on around, everywhere.
But I can sleep through that. Problem at all. Now, let's go ahead and say this because there's a lot of puppy dogs that are going to be upset Saturday night. So if you've got your dog, go ahead and put them inside in a utility room. They can't help it. They get scared.
Yeah. We have a big shop, on the back of the property. I'm thinking we might put ours in a little kennel in the shop just to get them, because I know they're kind of skittish. There's
a lot of dogs that come up lost for a couple of days over that. They're running scared, trying to hide. So
that's scary to them. It rattles the ground, some of these fireworks. And some people just are not real considerate. They'll be shooting them till midnight. I wish people would kind of have
as bad as I hate to say it, it's kind of the point of New Year.
I know that, but
I'm not trying to be smart aleck.
I know New Year's, ringing in the New Year. I know, but like 4th of July, even though people will go till midnight.
But I'm gonna be in bed by 10:30 come New Year's night.
Yeah,
that's my outtake on that.
Well, I probably will too. I don't know, but maybe.
But there's a lot of people that love to watch that ball drop and bring in the new year and enjoy it. And if you're that type,
I can just do that, watching it on TV.
It's going to be a limited few.
I think do they have to wear a mask, or do they have to have a vaccination, proof of vaccination? I don't know. I thought I heard that somewhere, but I'm not sure.
Yes, I believe you're right.
Yeah. So that might limit a lot of people from coming.
It could be.
Mm-hmm. But my New Year's resolution, I am going to lose a little bit of weight.
You are?
Yes. I'm going to set my mind to it and do it, because I don't know. It's getting older. I mean, I swear you can smell something and gain weight when you get older. You don't have to eat it. You just look at it and smell it, and you just gain weight. I don't know.
I don't understand it, but that's a fact, and it happens somewhere around 42 years old.
Yeah, mine started at about 45, and I will say it hadn't stopped.
It just gets you there.
Yeah.
So good morning to you. Now, we want to remind you that severe weather is moving into the picture in the next day or so. As a matter of fact, tomorrow afternoon. Let's pull this up and show you exactly what we've got. This is for Wednesday afternoon. Possibility of severe weather moving into the area there, and this includes all of our listening area that we've got. And this is going to be coming on down, and then we're going to have another round of this on Saturday afternoon. Possibility that Saturday's weather will be a little bit worse than tomorrow afternoon, but this will probably be 2 in the afternoon till after midnight. Be on your weather guard. After it starts nearing, we'll know more, but there we go. Technical difficulties we're seeing there on television again today. So we're trying to get that worked out.
Yes.
As soon as
is everybody on Facebook still? Can you still see us?
Facebook and YouTube, if you're watching from there, let us know how your signal is there. I'm trying to narrow it down where the problem might be. Severe weather also for our Alabama friends there on Wednesday. And then as we look at this is the Saturday one, it's even expanded more for Saturday for severe weather. So be ready. And now, again, as I mentioned this morning, do not put up your jackets. You're going to need them Sunday night. We're going to go from 80-degree weather down to about 20, 29, 27, 28, 29 degrees on Sunday night.
That scares me, too, because, I've said many times in 96 we had this kind of weather, and then, boom, had an ice storm like 2 days later. So I think anything's possible, but...
It is.
It just scares me. I do not want ice.
Now, me either. But that's a look at the forecast of what we got over the next few days. We hope it all clears up and gets a little bit better. That's a quick look at it. So how are you today?
I'm doing okay. It was a little slow go this morning. I don't know. It takes me a little longer to get going some mornings.
Dragging a little bit, maybe?
Yeah. And, everybody else is laying in the bed, sleeping, snoring, and I'm up getting ready.
It does have that effect.
Yes.
But again, today is Tuesday as we head into toward the end of the year. New Year's Eve is Friday, believe it or not. Saturday, you've got to, what are the two things you got to have? Black eyed peas and greens?
Greens and usually like some kind of meat, I guess ham, or pork or something,
Make it better for you. All right. Well, everybody get prepared, get ready for all of that. As we turn to our friends at Maple's One Stop Shop, they've got a little bit of everything for you. 6 locations now scattered across town where they can help you get some of the lowest gasoline prices there are. North Hills location, if you're in that area, make sure to check out the cold coffee machine. They've got the caramel, vanilla, mocha, all that right there for you. And for the rest of us, they've got the community coffee scattered through all of the stores there with the loyalty coffee program. Your 6th cup of coffee is free. Get that card punch when you go
nice. Get something free.
Yeah, it is. Now, I love me some coffee. And, of course, cold drinks and a whole lot more from Snickers bars to sunflower seeds. They've got all that for you there at Maple's One Stop Shop. Pizza, you can get that for $4.99. A quick lunch there, including chips and a drink. And right now, you can get all of any size that you're wanting, your drinks, your fountain drinks, 99 cents. See them, that's a bargain.
It is.
And, of course, you can take advantage of, if you've been looking for this, those are always good. Lottery tickets.
Are you lucky? Go get you a lottery ticket.
There you go. See them today. Maple's One Stop Shop. Again, 6 locations scattered throughout town. See them, and they'll take care of you.
Coming home from work, I was involved in a multi-car wreck. I never saw it coming. It was obvious that I needed help.
I'm Mississippi Attorney Richard Schwartz. I'm proud to represent the people of the great state I call home. And if you need me, Mississippi, remember, one call, that's all.
I'm Laura from Columbus, Mississippi, and it took one call and that was all. I called my Mississippi attorney, Richard Schwartz, and he got me $250,000.
If you need me, Mississippi, remember, one call, that's all.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. It is Tuesday. We're glad to have you a part of the show as we pass along condolences to one of Meridian's well, when you thought of attorneys, that was the name that you thought of. Dan Self has passed away. He was, I believe, 92 years old. We're going to have a private ceremony for him at the Newton Veterans Cemetery. It'll be a private ceremony, but I think most people know Dan Self. He was a tough lawyer. If you wanted the best of the best, he was it.
Yes.
Liked him a lot. We did have some reports of gunshots last night, and nobody hurt. Nothing damaged, but on the 25th Avenue side of town. That was reported, and again, no problems there whatsoever. I was making sure that that's all my notes that was sent in to me, and that is it.
Right.
As we begin this Tuesday, let's see. Horrible news comes to us this morning from Colorado. I'm not sure if everybody's read the headlines of what's gone on, but Colorado, there were 4 people killed there yesterday. 6 different shootings. 4 people killed.
6 different shootings.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
A cop is fighting for his life. It just the violence keeps growing, and the lack of police is not the answer, as we find out. We also have this shocking news this morning, and you don't hear about this as often. Most of aviation world has gotten really good, but a private Learjet went down this morning in San Diego. They have not officially released how many people on board. It will hold 10. Whoever was on board, they're saying, is most likely deceased. That it disintegrated when it went down. It was an explosion and quickly went up in flames.
Goodness.
So that's the big news there this morning out of there. Now, elections, as we get ready for this next year, y'all be ready for this one. I ain't even thought about this. But when 22 comes about, make sure you cast a vote, no matter who you're for. As we've seen all across America, the statues coming down. Well, guess what's next?
What?
They're planning on every plaque that you see that the left may disagree with is going to come down, which is history markers across the United States. And if they find to where they deem it to where it's something they don't agree with, it will come down and be forever destroyed. That is their next move. So again, elections rule everything.
I don't understand why people can't compromise. Why does it have to be one way or another? You know what I'm saying? Why can't you come to some kind of compromise?
History's history. Good, bad, or ugly, it did happen. And but look for that to happen. Tennessee did a big story on this. And as it trickles out, expect a whole lot more of this to come about.
Yeah.
Now, I read this, and I was really and truly expecting a longer list of crimes. Mississippi's most wanted suspect has been arrested. That's a lady, but I was expecting a rap sheet, and maybe they just didn't print it all.
Yeah.
As I got into reading all this, her name is Juanita Carden. She's 48, and she's been charged with motor vehicle felony taking away. And that's really all it says.
What does that mean? Taking away.
I would think that if you were Mississippi's most wanted, you would have murder and all types of. I don't know. Maybe there's more to that story that just wasn't printed with it. But I've seen it in 2 or 3 different places across the state this morning. That's all I've gotten out of it.
Yeah.
So it's got to be more than stealing a car.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would think. But
I mean, I wonder, did she kill someone with the vehicle? Or, I mean, it looks like it would.
yeah, it looked like they would have listed that.
Yeah.
Mississippi's most wanted. And that was down in Natchez area. Maybe I'll talk to somebody in Natchez today and get the behind-the-scenes story on all of that. How do you get – this is really hard to do right now. Fauci, probably one of the most disliked Americans that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Most people, when his name is brought up, good, bad, or ugly, kind of frown. Well, we've got a new contender that ranks lower than Fauci. Can you guess who it is? Oh, yeah, the President of the United States.
Yeah.
Joe has sunk lower than Fauci, Blinken, Kevin McCarthy, and I believe it's saying that Kamala is even higher than him on the list in some of these areas there. But Joe's rating approval have sunk.
Well, I mean, the ability to reason is just gone almost. I mean, he can't have a conversation. I mean, and it worries people, especially with a lot of talk of war here and, different countries clashing. And usually the United States was the strong power in a lot of that. And
right.
So, it makes people worried.
Uncle Sam always stepped up to the plate, and we're now worried that Uncle Sam could even get out of the chair.
Right.
Or know which direction to walk.
I know.
We see that.
It is scary. I mean, because he's the leader of the free world and, has all this ability to, push the button for a nuclear, I mean,
we all know that there's somebody behind him.
Yeah, we do know that.
We suspect.
A puppet master.
Right. We suspect who it is. But he still has that power to do something if he were to blink and come back too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, here's another scary subject, and it really, and I think this has to do with a lot of people, the way they feel about the coronavirus. It's kind of set the stage for it of you're told one thing, and then 2 days later you're told a different story that deals with it. And it's put a lot of distrust into the federal government. But Biden yesterday told the governors there is no federal solution on COVID, which means we don't have a clue. They don't have a backup plan. If you go to Florida, their plan has worked pretty much so far, the best in a bad situation. Let me word it that way. But they do not. They still have not gotten the vaccine kits. The test
kits
ordered.
Yeah, he promised was it 500 million or something like that? He promised, and people still have not received them. So,
they had the ability to order them in October, passed on it, didn't do it, and I don't see what's changed in between October and the 1st of December that they've got specialists that see this stuff coming.
I think this is sounds worse than what I'm trying to say is, but I really think that they're not working real hard to try to make things better on that area, because I feel like it's working for them. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of working on their behalf.
Right.
So I don't think they're putting enough effort forth to try to get a handle on it. I mean, I don't think that the virus has ever really going to be eradicated. You know, I don't think
Yeah,
it's ever
I'm with
really
you.
going to be gone completely. But I think it could have been handled a lot better.
Someone or something has unleashed this on the world, and it was done purposely. I thoroughly believe that whoever it was, it was done on purpose, and this thing keeps getting. I think it's bigger than they thought. Whoever was behind it in the beginning, it's
Well, the variant thing, I mean, until they figure out what exactly is causing the variants and an accurate answer to that, because I've heard many different things.
Right.
But until they pinpoint that, I don't think it's ever going to be even, slightly under somebody's thumb to where they can put a finger on it. I just don't think until they figure that out that it's going to be any better.
I agree with you 100%. And it should be the right of every American to choose what they want.
Well, they're too busy trying to blame the unvaccinated and turn people against each other, because that also works on their behalf.
Yeah.
Everybody being at, each other's throats all the time, and chaos works to their advantage. But
Okay, I ran up on this story, and I thought since you are a newlywed, we could almost play the newlywed game here.
Oh, goodness.
This is what counselors, they say they've got 12. We may not do them all. There are some questions that they say you must know about your spouse in order to have a happy marriage.
Oh, Lord.
Now, again, these questions, I'm not so sure that they really know what they got. The first one is, what makes Kurt laugh or cry? What would be your answer if you're behind closed door one?
Well, I make him laugh all the time, so
And you also make him cry, I bet.
he doesn't
So
cry a lot.
Could you answer that?
Yeah, I mean,
Truthfully?
I probably could. Yeah, I mean, he loves funny videos of like these, have animal videos, crazy animal videos, like, running. You know what I'm talking about? Like we watched these animal videos, cute things and stuff. That makes him laugh. But my jokes and stuff always make him laugh. I just break out in song or dance sometimes, and he just like.
Mom would have to go to the stupid things, and I say that word of things that I didn't realize I was doing, had no clue, and made fun of my own self.
Oh, really?
Like falling in the creek and couldn't get out, and they've become family jokes through the years. Let's see, what is the most, what are they most passionate about? After 20 years, no one even asked that question. Passionate? What's that word? They don't even know what the definition is.
I mean, he would kill me if I just.
She ain't
told all
answering
this.
is what
no,
she told.
I know the answers to stuff, but I don't want to. I'm gonna ask you. What is Angie most passionate about?
Christmas trees. I can tell you
I believe
without
that.
a shadow of a doubt, she's into Christmas.
Yeah.
One of the next questions they ask, this one doesn't make sense to me, and tell me if I'm reading it wrong. Now, again, this is from Cosmopolitan, one of these things here, of what people say you should know about your partner after being married to them.
Yeah.
How did their family affect their growth? You mean as in your height, or is it, I don't get that.
I don't get that either, really.
Maybe I'm
How did their
looking too
family
deep into that.
affect their
Is it
growth?
attitudes they're wanting to know, and
Physical growth, like.
are they all in just a bad mood and walk around all the time?
I don't know. That's kind of an odd question.
I think most anybody could answer this about anybody being around them more than 10 minutes. What makes them mad is the next question they said that you need to know. That's so a wife can push your buttons, is all that is. Yeah, there you go.
Well, I know one of the things that makes them madder than anybody is people that cannot drive on the road.
Oh, road rage. Here we go.
I'm just like this when I'm riding with him. I'm like, I'm driving home.
Listen, and another question they say that you must know about your spouse is what's most important to them? Is it their puppy dog? Is it their vehicle? Or is it you?
I think family. Okay. I think family is most important.
Well, she's going with these answers that...
Seriously. I seriously think that.
Let's see here.
In the Second Amendment.
In the Second Amendment. There you go.
Yeah.
What can instantly light them up inside? What do they mean by that? As in make them happy, walk around with a hyper glow? Is that what they're saying?
I guess.
Okay. And how do they recharge their emotional batteries? That's a cop-out question there. I don't, yeah.
Oh, well, I know if he gets aggravated, he just likes to be left alone. That's like
probably a good
time
decision,
out from everybody and everything. So, yeah. Which I'm kind of like that, too. Just don't. You make me mad, it's best to just don't keep on with me. Just leave me alone, let me calm down.
And this leads into this next story that made me scratch my head and go, how can this person give advice on marriage?
Right.
Somebody correct me, because I don't know a lot about the Pope and the religion that the Pope does. I just know that, they hold mass, and every few years a new one is elected and they release the doves. And I don't mean any disrespect. I just do not know much about the Catholic faith. I just don't. But he says things that make a marriage work are 3 key words: sorry, please, thanks, and sorry. Now, he ain't married, is he?
I don't think so.
How does he know that works?
I don't know that a pope can get married.
I don't think you
Are they
can.
allowed
Once
to be
you
married?
become like the priest,
It was kind of like,
you can't, can you?
I don't think so.
But again, I'm not Catholic. I'm not sure how that works, but maybe in all of his confessions, when people come to him, that may be the 3 things that are brought up to him in the little confession.
Well, that's generic stuff. I mean, please, thank you, and sorry. I mean, who can't say that?
Yeah.
I mean, well, there's a lot of people that can't say it, but I'm just saying, who could not predict that should be some of the things that would make a marriage
Please is
good?
probably one of the toughest words in the English language, that when people are trying to coerce you into helping them, that they just can't seem to do. Say please, they just can't seem to do it.
No, sorry is not. If I'm really sorry about something, if I've done something wrong, I don't mind saying I'm sorry about it. But if I'm not just going to say I'm sorry just to sugarcoat something and get over it.
You're sticking to your guns.
I won't admit that I'm sorry if I haven't done anything wrong,
And there's a lot of people that agree with that.
Yeah.
When it's argument time, and that's why fights become larger, and you don't speak to each other for months.
Yeah, and I don't like to fight. I mean, I don't like to fuss and bicker and argue and stuff. I mean, I have in the past, and I don't like it. So I'm kind of through with like the drama part of my life, I hope.
And since let's hope so.
I hope. Yeah.
Since we're on the marriage thing, who remembers this big deal? Because Joe got on Air Force One, flew to the wedding. His nephew that got married and married this fancy lady. 2 months, and they're already getting a divorce. She says she can't handle the pressure of being married. She's rattled. She was a housewife of Orange County. I didn't even know that. Megan King. She was married to his nephew, Cuff Biden Owens.
Huh.
Already getting married. 2 months. I mean, what was the even purpose? There's no telling what that wedding cost.
Now, I remember her. She was married to another guy that I thought was like a sportscaster guy or something at one time.
So,
and I don't think that was him because, no, I don't think that was him. Anyway, she's kind of high maintenance, complicated.
And it definitely sounds that way.
I've seen the show before, and she seemed that way on the show, but it's not one of my favorite shows.
And I still haven't pulled the list on the people, the famous people that we've lost this year, and we'll have to do that one day this week because the clock is ticking toward the end of the week of who passed away. And there's a lot of people that you forgot that they passed away in that year's time.
Yeah,
always a lot of great ones. With that being said, we're coming up on predictions. Now, have you seen any predictions here in the last few days that say that something big is going to happen in 2022?
I did see some of the, let me see if I can pull it up. The Nostradamus type stuff. I pulled it up this morning, and it says that it is chock full, 2022 is chock full of poetic predictions. They're not good, though.
They're not?
No, they're not good if you go by stuff like that. Natural disasters, wars, assassinations.
But it's Nostradamus, all of his stuff is really generic, isn't it?
I think it is, but it's kind of crazy that a lot of it has kind of come to pass, So, but yeah, it was talking about, what did it say about like cannibalism?
Yeah, that was listed.
That was weird to me. We're gonna act like that one didn't.
I cannot think of the preacher's name, the one last year or during the election. I guess it was year before. That swore upon it, that he had been given that Donald Trump was going to be elected. He had this dream, and it was without a shadow of a doubt. And then he had to eat his words.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember seeing a lot of different predictions with that. I don't know that we need to read into a bunch of this, though. I mean, I know some stuff has come to pass, but I just think that's just...
It's written very vague to where you can almost believe anything you want. Am I right on that? Does anybody believe this stuff?
I kind of think that if you have it in your mind enough that you kind of... I mean, I think the election that we just had, with the Trump and and the Biden stuff, I think that a lot of people had it in their mind that Trump just had it in the bag. And,
I saw
like
two
you
to
said,
three,
the preacher,
two or three of them that predicted that, and they said they were never wrong. This was a straight word from God, and it didn't work out that way.
I think the ultimate, decision maker is God. And
True.
I don't think that anything we say or do is going to change what God has in store for us. So, I mean...
And I would think that these same people that said that they were told that he would win would also lean toward, well, maybe the election wasn't really counted right.
Yeah.
I think that's their answer to that.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the preacher's name that made that.
Well, no, I mean,
forecast.
I'm not saying that I don't think that
Some
things were on the
fishy-
up and up. I don't think they were, done by the book, everything. But it is what it is now, and we just kind of got to get through it.
Yeah. So there you go. That's a few thoughts on predictions that are coming this year.
But let's pray that 2022 is a better year, because there's a lot of people who have lost loved ones, like we said the other day, and just a lot of financial issues that people are having and stuff. That it's because of the economy and because of things that's happened with the virus and I'd love to sit here and tell you that this Omicron is going to die down and you won't even know that it even happened. But all indications are that it too is going to take some lives. Not maybe as powerful as the last two, but I think it is going to cause some issues. And then what lies after this? Is it more? Will this finally kind of go away? Because we are seeing now for the first time people with actual flu again. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I think the flu is a lot more concerning than the Omicron. That's just from what I've read. I have no idea what. And then my question is, a lot of the sicknesses that we had last year, was it really maybe the flu involved in it also, and the other was blamed on that, and we just didn't know it? It could have been. I don't know, but I did see yesterday where they said 90% of the people who are infected with the Omicron will not even know that they have it. So you'll get it and you'll pass it on to someone else. Because it's like mild symptoms. But, I guess people with underlying health conditions or that have other things going on, lower, immunity, immune systems are lowered and stuff, are compromised. But they could get sicker. But who knows? I just hope that it's not as bad as the Delta version. That's what we're praying here. Just was a bad thing. As we move into this, and this is going to be a year of we just don't know, but it will be changes coming one way or the other. Well, let me back up on that. After we get through those 22 midterms, it will set the pace of what is coming for the next 2 years toward that presidential election. Is it going to be sweeping change? Some say it will, but I don't know what to say about polls anymore. I do not believe in any poll that they put out there anymore, because if you remember, Hillary was going to win everything. It just doesn't hold water, so to speak. I don't think it does either. So that's where we are on that this morning. We've got more coming up with Scotty Ray and Candace as we begin your Tuesday. We're so glad that you're a part of it. Rock House Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rock House will have the gun that you need, with a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rock House Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our community efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. We hope you've got a smile on your face and you're ready for this. Yes. I have not heard of a lot of everything's kind of quiet in between now and New Year's. Not a lot of social events that I've been made aware of. Yeah, I haven't heard of a lot of things either, because I guess there's a lot of people that are still getting the flu now, like we just talked about a while ago. Had a client that, yesterday she notified me that she wasn't feeling well, so my 10 o'clock this morning. Got changed. She said, So I appreciate people letting me know. Oh, yeah. So if anybody has an appointment with me and you don't feel very well, we can always reschedule. There you go.
Yeah.
As we go back in time, let's go down what happened today in history. This would be, and no one suspected it would be the last picture that was ever taken. It was 1952. It was a Christmas, right after a Christmas party, and the last known photo of Hank Williams was ever taken. And what is odd about it is he didn't have his cowboy hat on. Hank's signature look. He sang "You Win Again, Cold, Cold Heart" and "Lovesick Blues," and it was taken there at a cafe in Montgomery, and that would be it. No more pictures. And he would ride off a couple days from now and never to return. One of the most interesting stories, if you've never read any of that, of what happened that final night of Hank Williams, that last 48 hours, it's something to read upon.
So what do they think possibly happened?
He died of basically a heart attack. He was given some medication. It didn't go well. 2 mixtures of medicine, and it was more than his heart could stand, and it got him. But 29 years old. The question is, how long was he dead? Was he dead when they toted him from the hotel room to the car when he didn't feel good? Was he already passed away? Who knows?
Goodness.
But they would find him in West Virginia. Britt, even, if I remember right, has a piece of the brick from that building where they found him, where he was identified as it did happen.
Goodness.
One of the greatest. 29 years old, and no one has ever surpassed what he done. It would be 1954, and this truly, of modern-day actors, I have to give kudos to this guy of being true to what he is. He's point blank. He's not one of these that plays politics. He says what he thinks, and if you don't agree with it, and he's a firm believer in God. Denzel Washington celebrates a birthday today.
I like Denzel Washington. I mean, I've always, any movie that he's ever been in, he's been,
Have you, and I highly suggest, if you have not watched this movie before, have you ever heard of one called Deja Vu?
No, I haven't.
Whoa.
Is it good?
Yeah. And
keep you on your toes type movie.
You don't see it coming. And he just plays a part, and it shows equipment. You go back to some of these older movies, and they're showing things that could happen in the future, and that's one of those that's got that. Kind of like Enemy of the State with Will Smith. All the gadgets that were in it, that's common knowledge, most of it now.
But I like him, and I like Morgan Freeman is one of my favorite actors. I just love watching him.
Morgan, Along Come a Spider, one of my favorites with him. And it's just, the list goes on with Morgan of those. It's that voice that he delivers.
He can play any kind of role. I mean, like a funny role, or he could play serious, I mean, just anything.
Of course, the character he played, Red, in
Shawshank Redemption.
That word. Boy, did he play that one good. Really like that. Fellow Mississippian that we all like. It was a little bit before this last year that we found out that this guy passed away. Really shaped country music. Who remembers Ships That Don't Come In? It would have been Joe Diffie's birthday today, 1958, when he was born. And again, his health had gotten bad. He was way overweight, and he did get a cold or some sort, and he passed away. But his first big hit that made it to radio was "If the Devil Danced in Empty Pockets, He'd Have a Ball in Mine." That's probably Home. Who remembers that?
Pickup Man.
Yeah. Home, if you'll remember, Alan Jackson was slated to release his song Home. And Joe Diffie came out. There were 2 different songs, but they had the same title. So Alan Jackson didn't release his. And it would be 2 to 3 years later before Alan would release Home.
Joe Diffie was really big when I was in high school, I
Third
think it was
Rock from the Sun.
like our senior year and stuff. I mean, we listened to country music all the time.
Yeah.
And he was just real big. I think I went and saw him. Wasn't he in concert at the Temple?
Ag Center's where I brought him. He was there with Mark Chestnut and Tracy Lawrence. I forget the Honky Tonk something tour.
But wasn't he at the Temple at one time?
I'm sure through the years.
Yeah, years ago. But I think I did see him there.
It's a good chance. Joe was a great fella. Liked him a whole lot.
Yeah.
1971, you would wake up into this moment. You can probably still sing along with it if it comes on the radio. Charlie Pride had the #1 song with "You've Got to Kiss an Angel Good Morning." And "Love Her Like the Devil When You Get Back Home," because she's moody.
That's good.
He left that part out. They just couldn't figure out how to put it in there.
Oh, he didn't say she is the devil when you get back home.
No, you got to love her like the devil when you get back home. But that was, and then "Is Anybody Going to San Antone?" That was one of the songs that really brought him to the forefront of country music. A fellow Mississippian as well. Back in '81, I remember this being talked about. I didn't understand it. It's a common thing they say today, But America would see its first test tube baby born on this date back in 1981. I don't understand all of that stuff. I'm not a medical doctor of how they put this in there and then, well, y'all know where I'm going with all that. I'm going to back away from that. It's best not to talk about something you don't understand all the way.
All right, John Talbert keeps calling me bossy.
Oh, bossy over there. That's her name. I can remember as a little boy the lady that took care of me named Mayhat. At I think it was around 10:30. Everything had to cease in the house because she had to watch, and this would be the last show. The Edge of Night ended on this date back in 1984 after 28 years. Couldn't tell you the characters of the show, but it did happen on this date. Do you remember that one?
I remember listening to, like, didn't it go, The Edge of Night?
That's it.
I remember that, but I never watched it. You know?
Yeah. The only thing I can remember is Miss Chancellor from Young and the Restless. And is she still on there? Something scary.
I don't know. I don't know that I thought she passed away. But
She'd had to, because she was
at
old.
one time she'd had a stroke or something, really, and I think in real life she'd had a stroke. But
Susan Lucci, I guess, is the main most when it comes to people in those, and they still make it somehow.
I don't even know if that's still on, The Young and the Restless.
Couldn't tell you.
I know that Guiding Light.
But I
is still
do know
on.
this: Christmas and New Year's is going to
General
last till
Hospital.
March on there. I mean, do they not drag out a holiday?
They do, yeah. I say Guiding Light. Guiding Light, I don't think it's on anymore. I think the only soap that's still on that I know of is General Hospital.
You know, I remember
I saw it
talking
the other day.
to an old boy one time. Said he lost his farm due to that. He said it was the worst thing. He'd come home for lunch and get stuck on General Hospital. And he said he didn't want to go back to the field finish today. He said, I lost my farm. But he just goes, I know what happened.
Yeah, it's one of those things though that you can watch it, and then like 2 years later you can pick up and watch it again, and it's the same storyline.
Yeah.
You know, everybody just swaps spouses and boyfriends.
That's exactly what they did. Victor Newman. He's been there since time.
Goodness.
It was 1990, and this is the last thing that we've got on this little segment of what happened on this day. 1990, George Strait was number one. Who remembers this song? I've Come to Expect It From You. One of my favorite George Strait songs. And I always liked The Chill of an Early Fall. Who remembers that? Woo! Yeah. It was country. And in a world where sometimes that's hard to find. But I sure like that. George Strait was it. Still the king of country music.
Yes. One of the greats.
Where is that being passed off to? I don't know. You know, back when George Jones came out with Who's Going to Fill Their Shoes, it was Alan and Travis Tritt. Where does that torch get handed to now? The only person that even comes to mind would be Luke Combs, is even near being country.
I like Chris Stapleton.
No, I agree with that. Chris is pretty good.
I like him. I like his music.
The Bold and the Beautiful. We got that brought up there. Y'all go ahead.
They are still on. Okay.
No, they are.
Bold and the Beautiful and The Young and the Restless is still on.
Did Luke and Laura turn old and never date anybody else again?
I don't know. I know Laura was stuck in a mental hospital for years, and then all of a sudden she got sane again and come back out. I don't know if she's still on there.
Denise said, I miss all my children.
Mm-hmm. If my grandmothers were still alive, they would both still be watching them. I'm telling you.
Will that ever fade away?
And the Price is Right.
Has technology? Apparently not.
I guess not. I mean, you would think that people would get tired of that, but they just glued to the TV. You know?
They had the Conway, and I'm not meaning I want anybody to take this wrong. What I'm going to say, Conway was the best at he knew who his audience was, and when Conway first come out, that was the wife who stayed at home, and Conway sang to her. Because she was in the house all day by herself with that iron board, and boy, he'd cut up a rug for her, and she'd be all into it. And that's how the soap operas originally started. Now, I'm not sure if they're after that same audience now, or if they've switched, because it's not near as many people that stay at home now. Times have changed.
I gotta get a sip of it.
Go right ahead. I had my coughing attack yesterday. And Roy brought up Dark Shadows. I remember that one. That was it had Barnabas on it, if I remember right, as the Dracula guy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know where that's coming from.
It happens. They ain't a soul here that ain't had a coughing fit. Let's take a minute and talk about our friend Chet over at Chet's Paint and Body. Chet will help you when you get ready to have your car fixed, and it does happen a lot. We've seen an influx of deer bumping into cars, doing their dance on the sides, on the roofs, everywhere, messing up bumpers. That's what they do because, well, they're deer. See them today. Chet will help you out there, whether you need the front end fixed, a side door, whatever the case is that you've had an accident with somebody backed into you. It will happen. It's a car, and accidents do happen. If you've got aluminum bed, they can repair those also. See Chet. Let them walk you through this process. They'll show you the paint booth if you're interested in how it's done. Some folks just want their car fixed. Doesn't matter. Chet's going to give you quality work. He stands by what he says. There's not many people in this world that do that, but Chet is. See him, 737-2961. They'll handle the paperwork for you. Get in touch with your insurance company, work it all out, and you can come back and pick your car up in no time flat. That's Chet's Paint and Body. See him today.
I'm Michelle from Oxford, Mississippi, and it took one call, and that was all. I called my Mississippi attorney, Richard Schwartz, and he got me $287,500.
If you need me, Mississippi, remember, one call, that's all.
Greg's Fireworks in the Clarkdale community is celebrating 25 years of business. Open daily through January the 2nd. With the lowest prices around and the largest selection you can find. It's heated and air-conditioned. From 500-gram cakes to novelty items like sparklers for kids, gender reveals, and wedding sparklers. And don't forget your bottle rockets. Find all of your fireworks at Greg's Fireworks, 5169 Highway 145, in the Clarkdale community, celebrating 25 years of business.
Greg will join us tomorrow to tell us more about some fireworks safety that's coming up. Now, I don't know how to take this next story as I read the headline of what they're up to. The Department of Defense is going to crack down on prospective recruits. So you're getting ready to join the military. And if you have a questionable tattoo or symbol linked to an extremist organization, leaning back to January the 6th of last year. So they're already saying they're going after a particular group of people that they're not going to let in the military anymore.
That's crazy. Going about your tattoos. I mean, what about people who are already in they're continuing to get tattoos? Are they going to just like, I
think they're going to remove them from the military. I think it's what's coming. This is scary. It gets into you got to think like us, period. And if you've got a tattoo, you're not being a part of this. It's worrisome. I don't know the real truth behind all this. I'm just reading the headline and speculating of what's out there. Anybody else have that opinion? That it doesn't sound good because they could deem anything they want to be that way. All they got to do is say it.
Okay. I'm going to go out on a limb and say if you join the military, you're pretty much...
a patriot.
Yeah. You're wanting good for our country. You want to, defend our country. They need to worry about the people walking the streets that's kind of...
This is the guy that
sketchy.
You brought up yesterday. This is a sketchy guy. Mm-hmm. He was not a member of the military. He's got tattoos, but what does that have to do with...
Right.
And then what happens one day you wake up and they go, well, the Masons aren't good people anymore. Something to think on there. I'm worried about who is in charge of our country. Make sure you vote is all I can say. Those midterms, it's very, very important that you vote and cast your vote and your beliefs.
In the military, from what I understand, you can't have a tattoo below a certain area to where it shows. But so what are they going to do? Just say, okay, pull your sleeves up. We want to go over all your tattoos, and
I think it will be it will be a full body inspection, like you have, a health check.
Crazy.
And if they find a symbol that they don't agree with, and that could very well be a Mason symbol, they could say, that's part of that bunch from last year. You ain't getting in here.
Well, I mean, I don't know how many tattoos I've looked at and said, now, what in the world does that mean?
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
I mean. You see people with a dagger on their arm, are they going to say, a dagger through a heart? Oh, they're dangerous. They have a dagger on their arm. I mean, that's
it is up for those that are in
crazy.
charge to deem that, and that's what is scary. Again, vote, y'all.
Let me just say this. Did y'all around Christmas, before Christmas, did you see all the stuff that they were saying about, the Elf movie?
I missed that whole thing.
Okay, you know how they're saying, we're going to cancel this, cancel that.
Right.
Well, they wanted to cancel Elf on the Shelf, some people. Because they said that it's teaching children from a young age that they're being under surveillance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a little far-fetched.
Then they wanted to cancel the Elf movie.
What'd he do?
Because, there's a bathroom scene to where he don't know, like, what's going on.
He's singing.
Yeah, and he's singing in the bathroom with the girls in the shower. They're saying that he is a predator.
No.
And the people who are behind the scenes that think up this mess, they're the ones you need to worry about.
They're the same people that want to take the name tag off the bathroom door of boys and girls and let them all go in there together.
I mean, it's the craziest mess in the world. It's just like, that's crazy. I would have never in my lifetime said, oh, he's a predator.
I remember 4, 5, 6, I don't remember the exact year, but it doesn't seem like it was all that long ago. When I first heard the very first report of, well, we need to take these 10 Commandments out of the courthouse. They don't need to be here. People don't need it. And I thought, man, that's not good.
Yeah.
Look where that has gotten us. Mm-hmm. Stand up, say your thoughts, and vote. You got to do that, or our country will be in a mess. That's my word of advice today. Yeah. That's worse. That is a better way of putting it there.
Yeah.
Let's see some other news stories that are happening this year. We kind of covered that one. Delta, the lady that would jumped all over the other passenger for not having a mask on. Mm-hmm. Now we find out she was a Playboy bunny.
That didn't have any clothes on.
Yeah, I mean, come on, you're the one that ran around half naked. Or maybe, wait a minute, she didn't have anything on to do that, did she? She was a former Raiders cheerleader on top of that, and now she's a realtor.
Yeah, and she was worried about people having their face mask on, but yet she spit in the face of, I don't know if it was a cop that was on the plane or what, but she spit in
and she pulled her mask
face
down to yell at them. You're not accomplishing anything by doing this. As my grandma used to say, there's some strange people up in this world. The CDC has halved the quarantine with the virus, where they were saying, you had to go 14 days, 7 to 14 days. Mm-hmm. It's now down to 5 days, is with the Omicron, is what the headline is reading this morning. So that's a cut in that number there. This is shocking. Let me back up on this. This shocks me that it took this long for somebody to go, I don't believe in him. 52% of Americans, Republicans now disapprove with Mitch McConnell. I don't think he's been good for years. I think he should have went to the House a long time ago.
Yeah.
I think him and Nancy shake hands on the aisle when they're not. It's a show.
Mm-hmm. I think he'll say one thing and do another,
Each time.
Talks out of both sides of his mouth.
And we've seen this through the years. When one party is in the other, they yell and say, if I was in there, I would do this. And when their party gets elected, they sit back and do nothing. I call them the know-nothings. There's a lot of that goes on. And he didn't help Trump. He didn't help things get going. They sat there for 2 years when they had control of everything and done absolutely nothing. I think it is time for him to go. Term limits need to be a part of the United States.
Of every election, or anybody who is elected, there needs to be a term limit.
But they're not going to vote that. All they're worried about is voting is giving themselves insurance for the rest of their lives and pay raises each year. Y'all mark my word on that. That's how they do behind the scenes. They'll put up a good fight for the public every once in a while to make it look like they're doing something. This kind of went quiet. The Maxwell trial, Gasoline, that's been kind of quiet. They've been deliberating. This is day 4, and no verdict has been reached. They're going to get her, aren't they?
I think they should. I think she was just as much involved. It just so happens that I don't want to offend anybody by saying this word, but she was basically his pimp.
Yes.
And I heard this morning that there was a girl as young as 14 years old that she had gotten and groomed her to send her to this man.
Yeah, that's wrong.
So she played a very big role in all of this mess. She should be prosecuted.
It's reached a point to where too many people know now. Before when he got that plea deal that time before, not a lot of people knew about it. It was just a small area. This is national now. It would be hard for her to walk away without something happening to her. We'll watch it. As soon as it happens, we'll let you know.
I really wish they would put a list out of everybody who was involved in that. I don't know that we'll ever see that, but... You
know what the second list that I want?
What?
And this does exist. There's senators in Washington that have this hush money fund to where they've been accused, and they have a fund that they pay to shut women up. It could be some women in there, too. We don't know.
Oh, yeah.
But all of those that have been hushed, Whose names? Who was it paid on?
Right.
That does exist. That's not some made-up theory out there. Tell the truth. Tell it all.
Yeah.
But when you tell the truth, a lot of people say they want to hear it, but when it comes down to it, they change their mind when it rocks their boat.
I think it would probably make our jaw drop if we knew just who all was involved and stuff like that. Because, I mean, people can say one thing and act one way, but, you know, I don't know. What was the guy's name that they tried to say he had a girlfriend? Kind of odd-looking guy. You know, his eyebrows were like...
That's half of Washington.
What is his name? I'm sure y'all know who
what did he do?
about. The one that they were saying that had girlfriends and...
and the story's gone quiet.
Right. It was a big blow-up deal.
He was a big supporter of Trump. Mm-hmm. Yeah, him.
I cannot think of what his name was.
But that story has gone quiet. They had him convicted and thrown him out of Washington. Mm-hmm. And boy, that story went away quick.
What was his name?
Why do I go blank somebody? Like that? Matt, think you know this.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It'll come to me in a minute.
But it's Matt somebody.
So if I blurt something out, it's just because I have to say it when it comes in my mind.
I get that. Yeah. Alex Jones, who is a few weeks ago we found out, you know, this I don't understand. I knew his wife had filed for divorce. He got sued by everybody that dealt with the Sandy Hook thing, and he's most likely going to pay. His wife was arrested on Christmas Eve and had to spend Christmas Day in jail. Alex says that she didn't take her medication and went off the reservation, so to speak. And they came and quickly arrested her for doing all kinds of wild things. Matt Gaetz.
Gaetz. That is it. Thank y'all. Thank you.
So there you go. So they got problems up in the household there with Alex Jones.
It is a mess. I
remember the first time someone showed me, and they go, "You need to watch this guy." Mm-hmm. And the first show I watched was, okay. The second one, he got mad, and he literally ripped his shirt off and was beating on his chest, mad over. And I thought, man, you need to chill.
Yeah, he's like somebody gave him an IV of caffeine or something. I don't know.
He's way overboard. And then, he got to where he was selling the products on his TV show, and that's where he made his big money at. All I could say is coffee is the best I could do for you.
Yeah.
But has anybody heard any more about Matt Gaetz? Is that?
Yeah, I have not.
Did I miss something?
I haven't heard anything else about it. I don't know if they determined it wasn't true, or if they determined it was true. I don't know. But there was something to do. Wasn't his dad involved in speaking up about something?
Yeah. That did happen.
It could have been some of that hush money, though.
There's been a lot of hush money around town, and you would be shocked by the things that come about in Washington that you just really don't know. Yeah. It'd make your blood boil is the best way I know how to put this. And
I would imagine so.
So we'll keep telling the truth as much as we get it to let you know of what's going on there. So there you go about that. As we come up on the top of the hour, let me pull this back up so we can talk about this. Here we go. The Rock House Gun and Pawn is open. Wrong button. I can't be doing all that. The Red Fireworks Bar, where you'll see my friend Charlie. I graduated high school with Charlie, a great guy. He's got one of the largest selection of fireworks around town. If you've never shot with Charlie, drop in to see him. Highway 19, southeast area. When you roll through that red light and you see Dollar General, Charlie is next there on the right-hand side. And they have just about anything that you can imagine when it comes to a firework. Big booms, they've got it all there for you. And, of course, TVs scattered throughout the area on the walls to let you know what it does. And if you see one that you don't see on there, walk up there and ask Charlie. He'll tell you what it does. They pride themselves in knowing what they've got in their store each and every year. It's the largest selection around, one of the busiest places that you'll find. Right there, air-conditioned, heated, cool, whether it's wet or whatever the case is. The Red Fireworks Barn is going to be there through January the 2nd, passing along savings. The home of the no-dud guarantee. That's what you'll find there. Something for the kids, something for the adults. See it all there. Red Fireworks Barn, you'll find them again there on Highway 19 South, open through January the 2nd. See them today. They'll help you out.
I spent weeks in the hospital due to a careless driver. I could no longer afford to do it alone. I knew I needed help.
I'm Mississippi Attorney Richard Schwartz. I'm proud to represent the people of the great state I call home.
As we head toward the new year, a lot of folks make that thing of we're moving this year, we're going to this side of town, we want a different school district. And when you decide that, Snowden and Company is there to help you through this. They'll do it. The top bestsellers around, chosen by you, the readers. The Meridian Star chose 3 of them there, and they've got a brand new agent there that they're welcoming in. Elizabeth, she's going to help you in any way she can. Sweet smile. Got to be a good girl. I hadn't talked to her yet, but I'm going to. I hope you'll drop in and talk to them. They can show you online where you can look at it before you go see a home, see if you like what you see, and then they'll set up an appointment for you to go through it. If you're selling your home, they are professionals at this, extraordinary marketing strategists. They will help you pay close attention to what people want, what helps you sell your house, what are the goods and the pluses. A few of the homes that you'll find there as you thumb through this, 453-3937, again, SnowdenRealEstate.com, where they can help you in Lauderdale, Kemper, Newton, Shub, all the areas here, including Clark, and now they also handle this in Brandon, Madison, Forest, all those areas there. Snowden Real Estate Company. Whether you're looking for a double wide, you're looking for a home, land, acreage, whatever the case is, see them. They'll help you. Again, Snowden and Company Real Estate, locally owned right here in Meridian. See Amanda and her friendly staff. They'll help you in any shape, form, or way that they possibly can. Good folks there.
They are.
Let's see here. We're coming up toward the top of the hour. About 5 minutes left as we what a busy morning this has been.
I know.
Just flown by us.
My morning flies by every day. It's like I just don't understand where the time goes.
Do you?
I'll think, I've got 30 minutes.
Would you stop and do other things that?
No, it's like, most people can get up and just kind of relax, drink a cup of coffee. I just need to get up a little earlier, like a lot earlier.
You want me to start calling you? I have that service. Scotty Ray's phone service.
You say you get up at 4. Do not call me at 4 o'clock.
Don't mind a bit.
Even though I'm up like a couple of times during the night, I usually get up, but I don't know.
Sophie will look at me like, come on, just stay late today. Leave me alone.
Look, I'm one of those that constantly am like having to go heat my coffee up, because I get 1 cup of coffee in the morning. Like, seriously, I don't get to sit and just drink a cup of coffee unless it's on the weekend.
I don't know my name until that second cup hits my lips. Because that first cup I'm doing weather and I'm typing up what the forecast is for today, and I have to stare at it a couple of times. And occasionally we have misspelled words. It's all because I can't see.
But Scotty Ray's going to get his eyes fixed.
It's coming.
Yes.
I spelled Mississippi wrong yesterday and did not know it. And a sweet lady inboxed me and she goes, "Did you know you done that?" And I thought, nope, I sure didn't.
Look, I want pictures when you get your cataracts done, because I'm going to just tell you, they give you these big Hollywood sunglasses that you got to wear, and I want Angie to take a picture because Scotty Ray's gonna look like he's from Hollywood.
I ain't got over the last time she took pictures of me when I got out of the hospital. I looked like death, and she posted them everywhere on the internet. And I'm like, oh, please don't do that. But she done that.
Yeah, I took my mother to get hers fixed, and they fixed one, and I went back there to pick her up from the back room. And I said, "What's up, Hollywood?" She had these big sunglasses on.
Because you can't let
wrap around
sunlight near it.
They don't want like it. But anyway, you're going to be good as new.
That's in my future. Dr. Mason says he's going to fix me and put me back to where I can see again. And this is the strangest thing. It just happened in the last 6 months. It started getting a little blurrier, and each day got a little bit worse.
Well, he's going to make you good as new.
Angela says she's up every day at 3 a.m. Look at there.
Goodness, not me.
You would have to go to bed. You've got to train yourself to go to bed, I think, is the biggest problem.
If I go to bed too early, I'd be wide awake at like 2:30 in the morning. Seriously. But I wake up a couple of times anyway during the night. I get up and, get me something to drink, look outside. I don't know. I can't go back to sleep sometimes. I'm just up.
We had to read that because that's kind of blurry to me from here. What did they say about Matt?
Matt Gaetz was exonerated. They are prosecuting the lying accuser.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
When it goes quiet, they don't want to tell what if you.
Oh, I wish they'd blast it then. If to who's doing that, because there are people who are not on the up and up, but then there's people that will ruin your life just because they don't like you.
Yeah. And if you make a mistake, then you correct it. Like the gentleman in Meridian that was arrested for kidnapping that was wrongly accused.
Yeah.
That was wrong.
Yeah.
And the people that accused him, I think, are going to end up paying for that. But he was held in jail for a few weeks there, and he didn't do it. Mm-hmm. So if you're wrong, you're wrong. But, boy, that went quiet about him. All of them had him pretty much on a rail run out of town.
Oh, yeah. And they'll go to no limit to how far they'll go to try to
That's correct.
ruin somebody. So, but I hope that everybody has a great day.
We do.
And I hope that everybody stays safe and enjoys the day. If it's, I don't know how much rain we're going to get.
40% is not bad today.
Just be careful, though.
Tomorrow, a different story.
That's right.
We'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning, beginning at 8. Thanks for starting your day with us. It means a lot. We'll see you then.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by